Welcome back to Stoic Wisdom TV. In a world that often feels chaotic, loud, and fleeting, there's a kind of strength that doesn't demand attention. It doesn't flex for applause or crumble under pressure. It's quiet, steady, and enduring, this strength that emerges not in moments of triumph, but in the grind of adversity, when the odds feel stacked against you and the path forward is unclear. This is the strength of Stoicism. A philosophy not of grand gestures but of relentless resolve. It's about standing tall when life tempts you to shrink, moving forward when every fiber of your being screams to stop, and choosing growth over comfort. Day after day, this isn't just a collection of ideas, it's a blueprint for living with intention. A challenge to rise above the noise and build a life of meaning. Through the lens of Stoic wisdom, we'll explore what it means to never quit, to reject complaint, and to refuse to settle for less than your potential demands. These aren't abstract concepts, they're habits forged in the heat of real life that can transform the way you navigate challenges. Let's dive into this journey, chapter by chapter, and uncover the tools to become unshakable. At the heart of Stoicism lies a simple but profound truth. To quit is to betray your highest self. The Stoics didn't see quitting as merely abandoning a task. They viewed it as a surrender of your duty to your own character. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you give up on your discipline, you hand over your freedom, not just symbolically, but practically. You let external pressures dictate your inner world, and in doing so, you weaken the very foundation of your resilience. Life will test you. It will throw fatigue, failure, and frustration in your path. These aren't signs to retreat, they're invitations to grow. To the Stoic, every hardship is a classroom, every setback a lesson. The exhaustion of a long day, the sting of rejection, the monotony of routine, these are the raw materials of greatness. They're not punishments, they're opportunities to sharpen your resolve, to hone your will, to forge a version of yourself that's stronger than the one who started. Persistence isn't about blind stubbornness. It's not about slamming your head against a wall or ignoring reality. It's about choosing the path of endurance with clarity and purpose. Sometimes that means pausing to reassess, adjusting your approach, or resting to rebuild your strength. But it always means returning to your purpose day after day. Even when motivation fades and hope feels distant, the Stoic rises not because they're immune to doubt, but because they're anchored to something deeper than fleeting emotions, a commitment to their values, a belief in their potential. Consider the words of Marcus Aurelius, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This isn't just poetic, it's practical. The obstacles you face aren't detours from your path, they are the path. Every time you push through exhaustion, navigate uncertainty, or overcome rejection, you don't just survive, you evolve. You train yourself to see struggle not as a burden, but as the very process that shapes you. This kind of persistence builds more than just endurance. It builds character. Each time you choose to keep going, you carve a new edge into your soul. You teach yourself to view pain not as something to escape, but as something to engage with. You cultivate grit by staying present in discomfort, understanding that it's not your enemy, it's your teacher. Clarity doesn't come from avoiding chaos. It's earned by walking through it. And in those quiet moments when giving up feels easier, when the world offers no applause, that's where the Stoic shines. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows, where true strength is forged. If persistence is the flame, discipline is the fuel. The Stoics understood that life is a training ground, and discipline is the practice that prepares you for its battles. Seneca, another Stoic luminary, warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." This isn't just a call to action, it's a wake-up call. Quitting doesn't always look like a dramatic exit. Often, it starts subtly in the small compromises, the skip workouts, the ignored commitments, the moments when you let comfort trump conviction. These small lapses add up. A single day of weakness, repeated, becomes a habit of resignation. The Stoics were vigilant about this, comparing the soul to a muscle and the mind to a blade. Both require constant exercise and sharpening. Without discipline, you drift. With it, you carve a life of purpose. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's the cold mornings when you'd rather stay in bed, the quiet routines no one celebrates, the choices no one sees. But it's in these moments that you build the structure of your character. Discipline isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's the scaffolding that holds you up when motivation fades. Motivation is fickle, like comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, on the other hand, is a choice, renewed daily, to align your actions with your values. It's saying no to distractions, even when they're tempting, because they cost you your focus. It's getting up early, not to follow a trend, but to reclaim your time from chaos. It's returning to your principles, especially when life's noise tempts you to abandon them. Every discipline act is a vote for the person you want to become. Each time you choose structure over impulse, you're building a foundation that can withstand life's storms. The Stoics didn't rely on inspiration. They relied on systems, habits, routines, and commitments that kept them grounded when the world felt unsteady. They knew that to never quit, you must first become someone who doesn't quit. The transformation happens not in a single moment of glory, but in the quiet repetition of right action. You're not alone in this. The Stoics' philosophers, emperors, slaves, and soldiers faced the same struggles you do. They weren't superheroes. They were human, wrestling with fear, doubt, and temptation. What set them apart was their choice to endure, to rise when comfort called, to persist when surrender seemed easier. Let their example fuel you. Your discipline is your legacy, built in the unseen hours and the choices no one applauds. Every step forward, no matter how small, adds to a foundation that can hold the weight of a meaningful life. To the Stoics, obstacles weren't setbacks, they were opportunities. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "The obstacle is the way." This wasn't a metaphor, it was a mindset. The Stoics believed that adversity is not just inevitable, but essential. It's not the smooth path that reveals your character, it's the rocky one. Every challenge, from a minor inconvenience to a life-altering crisis, is a chance to grow, to test your resolve, to discover what you're made of. When life throws up barriers, you face a choice, retreat or rise. The Stoic chooses to rise, not because they're fearless, but because they see hardship as a teacher. Rejection, failure, injuries aren't signs to stop, they're summons to grow. Each trial carries the potential for transformation, but only if you stay long enough to learn its lessons. Quitting robs you of that chance, trading growth for temporary relief. But when you lean into the resistance, you unlock new depths of strength and resilience. The Stoic doesn't endure pain for its own sake. They endure it because they see beyond it the maturity, wisdom, and clarity that lie on the other side. Courage, they knew, only exists in the presence of fear. Without fear, there's no bravery, only routine. To act despite trembling hands or a racing heart, that's where strength is born. The Stoic doesn't wait for fear to vanish. They move through it, letting it walk beside them but never lead. This resolve is what makes the Stoic a warrior not invincible, but unyielding. They're not untouched by pain. They're shaped by it, refined by it. Their strength comes not from pretending life is easy, but from showing up when it's hard. They don't chase outcomes. They commit to the process. Their identity isn't tied to victory, but to presence with relentless choice to keep going, no matter the odds. Stoicism isn't just about personal strength. It's about duty. The Stoics acted not for pleasure or praise, but for purpose. Marcus Aurelius, who led an empire through wars and plagues, reminded himself daily that his role was not to chase comfort, but to fulfill his responsibilities. When you arise in the morning, he wrote, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alla vita, breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Life wasn't a gift to squander. It was a calling to answer. Duty anchors you when chaos swirls. It's the understanding that your actions ripple beyond yourself, touching family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers. Your choice to persist, to show up with intention, isn't just self-preservation, it's service. Someone, somewhere, is watching you, learning what resilience looks like. Maybe it's a child seeing consistency in a turbulent world, a coworker gauging whether to push forward, or a stranger needing proof that strength is real. Be their example. Be the signal that courage still exists. Duty means acting with principle, even when it's inconvenient. It's doing the right thing, not for recognition, but because it aligns with your values. It's honoring commitments, even when the excitement fades or the rewards feel distant. It's standing guard over your character, refusing to let fatigue or frustration erode your standards. Duty isn't glamorous, it's grit. It's the quiet leadership of example, the steady hand in a stormy world. When you tie your efforts to duty, quitting becomes less tempting. You see your life as part of a larger story, where your choices shape not just your future, but the world around you. This perspective transforms mundane tasks into acts of meaning, routine into ritual, struggle into service. Duty is the torch that lights the way, guiding you and others through the darkness. Quitting often stems from living in the past or future emanating on what went wrong, or worrying about what might happen. The Stoics knew this and trained themselves to stay rooted in the present. Confine yourself to the present, Marcus Aurelius advised. This isn't passive, it's courageous. It's the radical act of facing your pain, doubt, and uncertainty head-on, without escaping into regret or anxiety. The present is where your power lies. It's where you can act, breathe, and choose. The past is gone. The future uncertain only now is real. When you're fully present, struggles become manageable. Fear shrinks when you face it. Uncertainty softens when you engage with it. The mountain that seemed insurmountable becomes a series of steps, each one within your reach. Presence turns the impossible into the possible. You don't need to conquer everything today, just take the next step. Quitting feels like relief, but it's a trap, offering false comfort while stealing your chance to grow. Pain isn't your enemy. It's your path. It reveals where you need to strengthen, not to shame you, but to guide you. Stay with it. Wrestle with it. Let it shape you. The present is the forge of transformation. Every choice you make now, every moment of courage, discipline, or resilience builds the person you're becoming. Readiness doesn't come before action. It's born from it. Momentum creates clarity. Repetition builds strength. And every future you dream of depends on the step you take today. Now is where life happens and where your growth begins. Complaining is the voice of a mind that hasn't yet mastered itself. It's not just venting frustration, it's resisting reality without offering a solution. The Stoics saw complaint as a sign that the mind is focused outward, waiting for the world to change, rather than inward, building resilience. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The event is neutral, your response is where power lies. Complaining keeps you stuck in victimhood, convincing you that peace depends on external fairness. It's a loop of powerlessness, reliving pain without progress. The Stoics broke this cycle by choosing responsibility over resentment. They didn't deny pain. They engaged with it differently, treating hardship like a craftsman treats raw material with respect, not scorn. They asked, "What can I do now?" instead of "Why me?" To live without complaint isn't to ignore struggle. It's to choose strength over self-pity. It's understanding that life owes you nothing, and peace comes from mastering your response, not controlling the world. When you stop narrating the pain and start using it, you transform frustration into fuel, hardship into growth. You become not just resilient, but a beacon for others, showing what's possible when you choose courage over complaint. Words shape your reality. The Stoics knew this and chose their language with care, understanding that what you say reinforces what you believe. Complaining doesn't just describe a situation, it judges it, deepening your suffering. Phrases like "I can't do this" or "this isn't fair" may seem harmless, but they train your mind to shrink from adversity. Over time, they become habits of helplessness. Stoic strength is expressed through restrained, purposeful speech. Seneca advised simplicity in words, not to suppress emotion, but to channel it effectively. Before speaking, the Stoic asks, is this useful? Is it true? Is it necessary? If not, silence is better. This isn't repression, it's respect for the power of language. Words can build bridges or burn them. They can clarify or confuse. The Stoic uses them to guide, not grumble, to reflect, not rant. Your language reveals your mindset. Under stress, do you empower yourself or cast blame? Replace complaints with questions. Instead of why me, ask, what can I learn? Instead of this is too much, try, this is my training. Your words are your leadership. A daily reflection of your inner discipline. Train them to show your strength. Comparison is a subtle form of complaint, a quiet poison that erodes your peace. When you measure your life against someone else's, you diminish your own path. Seneca warned, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Comparison trains you to see lack where there is abundance, turning gratitude into grievance. The Stoics rejected envy, not because it was wrong, but because it was useless. Comparing yourself to others steals your focus from what matters, your values, your progress, your character. It's a surrender of agency, a belief that your worth depends on matching someone else's timeline. The Stoic measures success by their own standard effort, intention, and growth net by external markers. Everyone walks their own path, with unique burdens and blessings. No life is as perfect as it seems. To escape comparison, redirect your attention inward. Ask, am I living my values? Am I doing my best with what I have? These are the only comparisons that matter. Focus forges strength. Comparison steals it. Gratitude isn't ignoring hardship, it's refusing to be defined by it. The Stoics practiced thankfulness not when life was easy, but when it was hard. Marcus Aurelius wrote, do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess. This is the power of perspective. Focusing on what remains strengthens you to carry what's difficult. Complaining comes from forgetting that this moment, however flawed, is a privilege. Every breath, every chance to try again, is a gift. Gratitude restores clarity, humbling ego and dissolving entitlement. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's lasting, interrupting self-pity and amplifying wisdom. Gratitude is a discipline, not a feeling. It's a muscle that grows stronger with use, a lens that transforms how you carry hardship. It doesn't erase pain, but prevents it from becoming bitterness. It turns survival into something sacred, struggle into something noble. By choosing gratitude, you access joy without needing circumstances to change. To never settle is to never stop striving for your best self, not the best by society's standards, but by your own principles. The Stoics call this already excellence, virtue in action. It's not a destination, but a practice, a commitment to live with integrity, day after day, regardless of recognition. Settling is the quiet surrender to comfort, the slow erosion of your potential. It's choosing ease over growth, familiarity over progress. The Stoics didn't chase perfection, they chased consistency. Excellence is built in the small, unseen moments when you keep promises to yourself. Resist shortcuts or rebound from failure with resolve. It's holding yourself to a standard, even when the world demands less. It's a contract with your future self, a promise to honor the fire within you. Never settling isn't about wealth or status, it's about mindset. You can live simply and still hold high standards. You can fail and still refuse to lower your bar. Success isn't winning. It's the purity of your effort, the depth of your intention. Every moment of striving is sacred, even if no one sees it, because your soul does. To never settle is to live as if your life matters because it does. It's rejecting mediocrity, not with arrogance, but with devotion to what's possible. It's choosing the hard path, not for glory, but for growth. It's remembering, in the moments that tempt you to coast, that you were built for more. You are the architect of your inner life, and excellence is a decision renewed every day. The Stoic path isn't easy, but it's enduring. It's a call to live with purpose, to face adversity with courage, to build a life of meaning through discipline and duty. It's about never quitting, never complaining, and never settling, not because you seek perfection, but because you seek growth. Every challenge is a chance to evolve, every moment a chance to choose who you're becoming. You don't need to be flawless. You need to be faithful to your values, your potential, your purpose. The world will test you, but it will also shape you if you let it. Lean into the resistance. Stay present in the struggle. Let gratitude guide you, discipline ground you, and duty inspire you. This is the Stoic way, not to avoid the storm, but to stand tall within it, unshakable. Not because life is easy, but because you are strong. Start today. Choose one action from this guide and commit to it. Let it be the first step toward a life that adversity must respect, a life sculpted by your choices, defined by your courage, and lit by the quiet fire of your resolve. If this message resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that will help you create the life you truly deserve. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.